Kayla, and I am so excited to do today's video because I am going to be going over 5 different recommendations to do before traveling to Thailand. And certain ones also include avoiding certain scams that are very popular in Thailand as a tourist as well. So I wanted to do this video with you guys today because as someone who has traveled to Thailand many times over the past few years and even am in Thailand now, I wanted to share some tips and tricks with you guys that I found beneficial, that I wish I knew and found out and learned along the way while being in this country for months and months on end. So I hope you guys find this video super helpful to help you prepare for your trip before visiting Thailand. So stay tuned. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up as well. So the first thing to know before visiting Thailand is to fill out a digital arrival card. All foreigners that are non-Thai have to do this. It's a requirement before entering the country. You can do this online. I would highly recommend going to the government website of Thailand and doing this. The application itself is free. And if you are a US citizen and if you're staying for under 60 days in Thailand, you do not need a visa whatsoever. It's super easy, it's super quick. And this is actually a new regulation that Thailand implied starting May 1st of this year, 2025, at least within 3 days before visiting, to give yourself some time to make sure everything runs smoothly and all your information is correctly filled out. So the second thing to know before visiting Thailand is that transportation is super affordable, and there are so many ways of transport that you can take for options in Thailand. That being trains, there are so many trains, and even the metro trains within the city, they're very accessible, they're very affordable. And then there's also Grab. Before you do go to Thailand, I would highly recommend downloading the Grab app, and that's G-R-A-B, Grab app, because the Grab app, it has so many different utilities that you will be using throughout your stay in Thailand. They have food on there, delivery, and it's so much more easier and affordable. It's like the Grubhub or a DoorDash for Thailand. It's super huge in Thailand and very popular and very accessible. And the Grab app does also include transportation such as motorbikes as well as cars. If you are taking a motorbike, they are a lot cheaper than cars, especially if you don't have luggage or suitcases with you. I would highly recommend taking a motorbike if it's just yourself. If you do travel with a group of people, like a friend or your family, I would highly recommend taking the car. It is a little bit more expensive, but nonetheless for the price. If you are traveling to further distances, I would highly recommend taking a car. The Grab app will be your best friend, so definitely download it. It's a completely free app. The Grab apps are like the Uber for Thailand, and there's a lot of Southeast Asian countries that also use a Grab app, but Thailand specifically, it is one of the biggest apps you will be using non-stop, almost on a daily basis for food delivery as well as transportation. And then also for transportation, tuk-tuks. I'm sure you guys have heard about the tuk-tuks out here. I love the tuk-tuks, honestly. They're so fun. I would highly recommend using a tuk-tuk if you plan on going somewhere where it's local. If your destination is local and it's a few blocks away, I would use a tuk-tuks. A lot of the tuk-tuk drivers stay within their region and areas and blocks. If you're going further distances, obviously I'd recommend probably a Grab app or renting a motorbike, but tuk-tuks are really great when it comes down to if you don't want to walk, because it does get really hot in Thailand. So if you don't want to walk for further distances, for like more than 10-minute walk, I would highly recommend a tuk-tuk. But also be aware, there are some tuk-tuk scams to avoid. A lot of them will tell you that they'll ride you anywhere you want in the city for free. Don't fall for that scam. When I first went to Thailand like years ago, I actually fell for that scam. And what they'll do, they'll take you wherever in the city you want to go, and it's free. But what they'll do on the way to your destination is have certain stops along the way, and those certain stops will be, maybe a souvenir or a market or a jewelry shop or one of those tuxedo custom made shops. And usually they get commission based on whatever you buy in the shop. So that's how they kind of connect and make their money as well. But that actually happened to me a few years ago. A few years ago when I first went to Thailand, I fell for that scam. And I remember I asked my tuk-tuk driver to drive me to Chinatown to go through the markets. And I ended up stopping like at 3 stops before I actually went to Chinatown, you guys. And I ended up going to a jewelry shop. a souvenir shop, and one of those custom handmade suit tailor shops. The shops actually try to get me to buy stuff, and I ended up like buying a magnet, I believe. And then the tuk-tuk driver asked me what I ended up getting, and I told him I ended up getting a magnet, and he was kind of like disappointed. But then I later found out they make commission through that way. Just moving forward, do not fall for the scam, the tuk-tuk scam. If they tell you they're gonna drive you anywhere you want in the city for free, just know that they're probably gonna be making stops on the way. If you don't mind making those stops and you have all the time in the world, so be it. But if you do wanna go straight to your destination, just let them know, hey, you know, I'll pay you 50 Thai baht to take me to Chinatown directly. You have to be very straightforward with them because they do try to get you to stop. A lot of the tuk-tuk drivers can be very aggressive in terms of trying to get you to go to different places other than your final destination you originally requested. So just be mindful of that and just let them know and be direct that you want to go to whatever destination you plan on going and that you'll pay them for whatever amount of money you guys negotiate with. And lastly, for transportation, another thing you should know that is very beneficial for transportation out here. If you guys are planning on staying for at least maybe like a week or more, 2 weeks, or even a month out here, I would highly recommend renting a bike as another option, because I do understand if you do want to go to different places around Thailand, Grab apps can be very expensive. So if you do want to rent a bike, you can rent a bike for whatever week or whatever month. There are so many bike shops that sell bikes, and you can negotiate with some of them too, to be honest, because I've negotiated with them for bikes I've used for a week. So utilize that too. That's always going to be an option, renting a bike, and you have more freedom to go wherever you want to. If you do plan on renting a bike, definitely have a driver's license. That's one of the recommendations. And some tourists, honestly, they don't always have Class M license, but a lot of these rental places, they'll rent out a bike to you regardless anyways. But however, in some areas or cities within Thailand, the police out here are super strict. I know in Bangkok, the police are more laid back if you're a tourist riding a bike. But if you are in Pattaya, which is along the coastline, it's a highly populated tourist area. A lot of the police do pull over and stop tourists that are on motorbikes for any reason. If you're a tourist or if you look like a tourist, they're going to stop you regardless and look at your license, and then they will try to fine you. The fines, I know a majority of them are at least 500 Thai baht. You know, I've been in that situation too, where I've been pulled over quite a few times by the Thai police, and a lot of tourists get away with paying under the table the Thai police, kind of keep it moving, or they'll pay the actual fine and you have to pay it at the police station to whatever area that you're in. But a lot of the Thai police do pull over tourists. Even if tourists have the right license and wearing a helmet, they will find a way to pull over tourists. So you just have to be mindful of that and just make sure that you're doing what you need to do within the safety laws and regulations, just to avoid any fines or any mishaps when renting out a motorbike. So the next recommendation that I would highly recommend, if anything, is to carry cash around. You'll be utilizing cash a lot more than your bank ATM card. And I say that because Thailand is known for their marketplaces, whether they're indoor markets in the shopping centers or the outdoor marketplaces in the local areas. And a lot of the market vendors, they don't take card, they only take cash. So definitely I would recommend, as soon as you get to the airport, going to an ATM by a bank. And when it comes to the ATMs, I would highly recommend going to the ATMs by the bank, because another scam you want to avoid are ATMs on the streets, because not all ATMs are actually bank verified, and there are some scammers that will set up their own ATMs, suck your ATM cards, and you'll never get your card back. So what you want to do is definitely go by a bank and use their ATM. If you have any problems whatsoever, you can always ask the bank tellers. They're very good with that, and they're very professional and helpful. So that's just another tip to avoid. The next step, it's a bit controversial, but I would highly recommend carrying a mini hygiene kit. And what I mean by mini hygiene kit is carrying either a roll of toilet paper or tissue paper or napkins in your purse, bag, fanny pack, backpack, as well as hand sanitizer. And I say that because in a lot of public bathrooms, especially in local areas, when you do use your bathroom, they don't have toilet paper. There's a lot of times that even if you go in a shopping center, there isn't any toilet paper in the stall. It's just the toilet, and some of these toilets are also the squat toilets, so you don't sit on it, you squat over it because the toilet's in the actual floor. A lot of places, especially in local areas, may not have toilet paper, so you always just want to be ready and have either tissue paper or a roll of toilet paper somewhere on you. The same goes for hand sanitizer. Some of these areas too might not have soap, so if you're on the go and you're eating, you just want to be clean and just always have hand sanitizer with you. And lastly, Thailand has so many markets in it. I think Thailand is so beautiful and diverse when it comes to a lot of their cuisine and their food markets. Their food markets, you can find food anywhere. You go in the corner, you can find food, like the food stalls. You can go to marketplaces. There's outdoor marketplaces, indoor marketplaces that are only open at night, overnight, into the early mornings. Any time of day, there's always food available. There's always marketplaces available. So I would highly recommend just checking so many of them out, you guys, as my last recommendation, and just something to know about Thailand. It is so diverse in culture and food, and even their shopping centers. I mean, I know in Bangkok alone, they have the Icon Siam Mall, they have Terminal 21s, even in Pattaya there's Terminal 21 malls, and these are huge malls, you guys. These malls have like 7 floors. I know in Terminal 21, every floor is themed, and I have this on my channel actually. If you guys do check out my channel, there are so many more reviews of these malls. There's, on Terminal 21 Mall, I mean, every single floor is themed for a different country around the world. You can just see so many different food cultures, and it's just so diverse, you guys. So I would highly recommend checking out different markets before visiting Thailand, just to kind of get an idea of the kind of food you're going to be experiencing, where you're going to be going, so that you can better set yourself up, because you can get lost in these markets, you guys. So it's always good to know and have a straightforward plan. I hope you guys have found this video super informative and also received helpful tips as well, that you guys can use while visiting Thailand and before visiting Thailand, just to keep you guys prepared and prepped, especially as someone that's been in Thailand for so long. I've been in Thailand in and out for a few years now. I just wanted to share in today's video what has worked for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.